Okay, friend of the channel, Phase 1 Gaming. Let's check him out. Future of big ship combat in Star Citizen. I'm curious to see what he has to say on this.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that I think I think CIG is going for. What they want to do is they want to, like, we don't see it, but internally they have builds where they're testing, I believe, the big ship combat experience. And I know when we first started, they started releasing smaller ships because they were easier to get in. But I think the primary means of combat is going to be the big ships. And I think the icing on the cake will be the fighters, right? So the primary combat being the big ships, this means that the experience that they want to deliver with the big ships is what they're going to deliver with the engineering gameplay inside of the ships, with the big ships, is going to be something that we've never seen in the gaming industry. It's going to deliver a really unique experience that we haven't had before, and they really want to knock that out of the park. And so
okay, first off, dynamic server meshing is primarily the #1 key factor for big ship battles. To be big ship battles, you need dynamic server meshing to have these large ship battles. That's #1. Once we get some type of stability on the server meshing side, where you can bring in large amounts of players, larger ships, and we get to see these battles, that's going to be really interesting. When we get Pyro coming out and you see like Stanton and Pyro and you're seeing the jump point being fired off back and forth, that's going to be really fun dynamic. And to see that kind of gameplay and that PvP develop is going to be, I think, paramount to getting a lot of data for SIG to create areas where they're going to have to say, okay, these are the concentrated areas that we need to focus on. Because right now they got a static server mesh and they're stitching this thing together so that players can have stable experiences. We'll start to see larger ship battles as they start to zone out areas where the battles are happening, and they figure out how to stitch servers together so that they can pretty much have a couple hundred players at the same time having large battles. That'll be fun. That's going to take a while. That's going to take a couple months. All these tests that we're doing right now, the reasons why you guys are going through these tests is because they realize where they're going with Pyro, with large ship battles. I want to see a lot more stability than we have right now before I even get excited about any type of big ship combat. So I don't know where FaZe is going with this, but I'm going to continue on.
I think in CIG's eyes, the primary means of combat is going to be the big ships.
Of course, yeah.
How they're going to balance the combat experience between the big ships. And then once they have that dialed down, which is why they're going with this power management system, right? With the pips, because they want you to have people in your crew that will be managing that for you. Right. And we'll have to make decisions, because right now I can't put all power to weapons at all times and have all power to engines all times and have all power to coolers and all that. So well, I
haven't played around with the new power system. I've heard mixed reviews, just like I hear it with master modes. I'm listening to Avenger 1, who's telling me that it's not close to where it needs to be, that they basically nerfed it. I saw the nerf in chat. I'm basically taking nerf and turning it into nerf. That they've nerfed the power system while giving you like a really nice display, some of the key components like speed and other heads up displays that we need to be more central, which is another valid criticism. Okay. Again, the whole master modes conversation, it's a moot point. It's a moot point for me, because you're always going to have flight changes. That's always going to happen. It's a 50-50 right now. PvPers are just kind of fighting at it, saying, yes, I like master modes. No, I don't like master modes. That's going to be that way until the next flight change. The new look, the UI, the MFDs look fantastic. They look glossed. I like the way they're going with it, but now we're talking about the power, the engineering. I haven't gotten to play with it yet. When I get to play with it, I'll give you my verdict. I'll let you know what's happening.
Would constantly be making decisions between all these different systems.
Is it, Hugh?
You know, so
Hugh's saying it's weird.
And with that, even if you look at some of the components I have installed, right? I have the way I built this
Brooks
ship
is saying it's weird.
is I'm using partially industrial and partially military components. Reason being, the industrial ones give me the most performance, but the engineering, the military components give me the most flexibility as well as durability in terms of the components' health points.
Yeah,
so if you look at my coolers, this one right here that has a 3 pip requirement just to run is my industrial component, but it's giving me the most cooling out of the 2, right? And then this one right here is my military cooler. It has only a 1 pip requirement, and that is so good. It has a 1 pip requirement, and it allows me to reallocate pips if I need it to other parts of the ship. So having
yeah, it is a little hard following him, Yurik, on what's going on here. Like, I'm not quite sure what points he's trying to make here. Yurik says nothing against the stream, but I have a hard time following his point. I think what FaZe is trying to say is that engineering's kind of like a basis to further larger. He's tying in engineering and the importance of it with large fleet battles. I mean, that's kind of course, right? My point is like, large battles and large fleet battles aren't even a thing for me until we see more stability and I see server meshing operating at a much better pace than what it is right now.
An engineering crew, guys on deck dealing with fires and all that, as well as somebody that's dealing with the engineering terminals, is going to be so important, because at any given time you'll be making decisions. Okay, reroute power to engines, reroute power to shields right now. We need to recharge our shields. Reroute power to weapons. We're ready to attack. You know what I mean? They want to deliver those kinds of experiences, and so with that, they're refocusing on the big ships. Once they dial those in, then they're gonna come back down to the fighters and make sure the fighter experience is also good.
Okay. Listen, I love FaZe, but I'm just gonna say this. The entire flight experience continually needs to be worked on until we all like it, or till the majority of those people, both PvP and PvEers, like it. If they dumb it down too much, some people accusing master modes, that's what it is right now. I'm sitting on the fence right now. There's so many changes that are going to happen. Some of the things that we're seeing with master modes are what's going to be put into Squadron 42. Will it be that way for the PU? Will it be that way for our online experience after Squadron 42 in the future? Absolutely not. It'll keep changing. So in terms of like me worrying about big ship combat right now, I'm not even there yet. I'm going to start thinking about big ship combat, like large fleet battles, once we start seeing some type of like valid dynamic server mesh that can give us more of a stable experience, period. So I all these game mechanics that we're seeing are for larger ships, like FaZe is saying, like engineering primarily. I mean, yes, solo ships, smaller ships, yes, obviously engineering and power management super important. But like in terms of the fires, in terms of what we're seeing in terms of like you needing an engineering crew for larger ships, these types of things, engineering's laying the basis or the foundation for multi-crew gameplay on another level, like no other game that we've ever seen before. And I think that's what FaZe is trying to get across. So apologies, FaZe, if I'm putting words in your mouth and that's not what you're meaning, but I think FaZe is just getting really excited. He's got that Citizen Con kind of like thing going on where I'm hyped about it too. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube and I get this out before Saturday and Sunday, we are having Citizen Con here Saturday and Sunday, all day long song. Loving it.
Yes, you're not gonna hate man. Yes.
I'm actually streaming 4 days straight, man. So I'm really happy that I get to be here with my fam and have a good time. Hopefully I get to see you guys at Citizen Con. We're going to have an absolute blast. No matter what happens, we have fun here. And that's how you keep it here on DG360. Fun!
Yes, you're not gonna hate man. Yes.